All right, good morning, everyone. Welcome to Morning Market Review this morning. And has been market has been a very great ride for me lately. So let's just quickly confirm. Let's confirm if my audio is clear. Let's confirm if my audio is clear so that we can have this session today. Right, so just out and clear. Have it in my chart here, loud and clear and clear. So let's have it. Our response time is how fast we move today. Our response time is how fast we are going to drive today. So just quickly do that for me. If my audio is good and if you can hear me, just quickly let me know that. Let me know. All right, thank you so much. Thank you so much. All right. Yeah, so let me quickly share my screen then. We have everything needed here. All right, so I believe every one of us have been trading and you know how to trade, right? So I won't really dwell too much on some things, but still, there are some things I'm going to quickly explain to us. Now, this was a chart of Euro USD. And before I do all these things, I will just quickly introduce you to where we normally get news. I know some people know it already, but then today is a whole bulkload of news. And when you are saying bulkload of news, which means we're expecting so many news coming out today for one particular economy that everybody is well aware of. That economy has been fluctuating, and we don't know what Trump is doing. We don't understand lately. But then we can see the outcome of CBI. CBI came out to be bad in as much as the figures we are expecting still correlate with the fact that everything there is bad, though a bit better than the previous. But we also see how USD lost its strength. So and then there was a time I think I've told us that if you want to trade a fundamental, you need to find a way to, there are three ways in trading it. Right? You have pending order, you have market execution, then you have after the news release. Right? So, but then I would really go too far. The news was bad, dollar sold, and gold didn't really have a clear direction there. But then today we are now expecting how many news now? We have up to like, this is like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 7 news coming out for the US dollar, and we have the chairman of the Federal Reserve to be giving us a speech by 1:40. Now, please don't be ignorant of all these fundamental events because they are part of the things that makes price to spike in a particular direction. So now, as it stands, if you notice, I'm having some pending order here. You can see a sell stop that I have at that particular point. I have a sell stop at that particular point. Now, you see, the sell stop, which is 0.05 that I have here, that definitely I should be having a buy stop here, but that one has, it has taken profit already. And everywhere is good. Okay, so right now I actually did a buy limit for GBP USD yesterday when I was taking a class. We made use of Fibonacci retracement, and I was able to explain to them that the way Fibonacci works is very, very simple. When you draw from the lowest swing to the highest swing point, all you need to do when price is coming back, layer depending orders, just layer depending orders. You have 38.2, 50.0, and then we have 61.8. Can you see now? We have buy pending orders at those particular levels. And right now, one of them has triggered, which is the one for 38.2. And you can see that it's close, almost close to my take profit, but it has not closed. So I can decide to take it out right now, right now. All right. So depending on what price do, if price wants to fall from 28.3, because I told them there are so many technical tools that can make the job easier for you. So many technical tools. If I don't want to use Fibonacci retracement to trade, I can just take it out. Then all I would need to do, I'll just do what is called previous day high and previous day low. I'm not sure you have heard of that strategy. Right? So previous day high signifying an interest point for me, and then previous day low signifying an interest point for me. So if I am to place a trade right now on GBP USD, I'm going to look out for a pending order to set. But remember, there are news coming out by 1:30, so I might not expect too much price movement for GBP USD. All right, for GBP USD, I might not expect too much price movement. So okay, this one did okay. So now looking at what price has been doing lately, price full swing in one direction, and yesterday there was a fall. So this morning that started picking is buy, and then I'm expecting what has happened with here to still repeat itself here, which means price will range. Price will range, right? So if price will range, definitely we're expecting just very sluggish price movement. We are not expecting a good direction when it comes to the movement of price. All right. So for GBP USD, just do your pending orders above the highest point, then below the lowest point for your entry point. Right. So that's my take. But then GBP USD is a downtrend instrument. If you check the overall trend, this is the overall trend on monthly time frame. It is more of a downtrend. Even if it was to go up, the highest point I should be expecting it to get to should be somewhere around here, somewhere around here. So that's the max, right? The max I'm expecting to get to. So that's my take on GBP USD. It is better you set your pending orders and just move out of the market. Okay. Now you can decide to put a sell stop below 1.32514. You can put a sell stop below it, then take profits before this particular point here, which is 1.32268, somewhere around there. These are ways we set pending orders. In case price wants to fall, you can even still decide to put a buy stop anywhere around there. You put your take profit somewhere around there in case it wants to spike up. But then that will be for the fundamental event, because right now, if you say you want to trade, you might go in the wrong direction. All right. So that's my take for GBP USD. Let's quickly rush on to Euro USD. Now, Euro USD also is a downtrend instrument when it comes to the overall trend. It's a downtrend instrument, but then I'm coming back to smaller time frames so that I can be able to pick trades. Okay, that's what I'm doing currently. Now, let me even ask some of us, what is your take on Euro USD with the fact that Trump has started everywhere, the trade deals and the like, but then on the chart you can still see some pattern of movement that is helping us to be able to pick a direction. So with what price is doing currently, let me ask some of us, for those that want to answer, just raise your hand and I'll unmute you so that you can share with us your own view of Euro USD. So what do you think Euro USD will do? Will Euro USD buy or will Euro USD sell? So let's see who wants to answer the question. Will it buy or will it sell? Remember, every of your basis points needs to come from the chart, which is the pattern of the movement of Euro USD, which is candlestick formation, right? Wisdom and Noku. Let's see you. All right. So you can unmute yourself. Let's hear you.
Good morning. Good morning, sir. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, sir. You are welcome on Morning Market Review. Please, what's your take on Euro USD this morning?
Okay, my take will be just based on the technical aspects, not on a fundamental perspective.
Okay. Okay.
So I can see from your chart that price had a rundown, a very massive rundown, and then tried to
rundown.
a massive rundown. Yeah, that's the red, and then tried to pick up over time,
and then
yes, it picked up into the same region where it ran down from.
Yes.
It picked up. It rallied up into the same region where it ran down from. So currently, it has not finished using the downside. So it just gave a drop and broke a low a little bit. So we are in between. Yeah. So that's the major that place you just pointed your mouse now. It's a major place for another sell. So one of my strategies is always trade in the direction of the break of structure, of the major break of structure.
Okay.
So those ones, this one looks like a retracement to me, obviously. So maybe there's a point for you to mitigate and then for you to keep flushing down. So there's a break of structure to the downside and then a retracement into the zone from the point of interest from where it broke structure to the downside again from. So that may be we're looking to see if there's any region for you to tap into, but I cannot see. There's no obvious supply point that would drive price down from there's the nearest supply point. So what I can see is above. Yes, see, yeah. Take a cursor a little bit to the front. Yeah, around there. Yeah, that's the region that price may tap into because of the news, or even further. So it may tap into and then flush down. That's what I'm looking at.
Wow. Thank you so much, Mr. Wisdom. I enjoyed this. Thank you so much. All right. A1 Wisdom. A1. Let's hear you, because you sent me something, but I think I want every other person to also listen so that we can have, from different perspective, right? If you are A1 Wisdom, just unmute yourself. Let's hear you. Okay, Yusuf.
Good morning, sir.
Okay, hold on. Okay, good morning. Good morning. You're welcome, sir.
Yes, sir. From my own perspective of view, due to looking at the US charts, I could saw like a structure of higher high, higher low. So what it did yesterday,
higher lows.
Yes, like what it did yesterday now. So people might think it's an uptrend direction, but I thought it went to go and test the way it broke at the daily time frame, where it broke structure, change direction as a reverse.
Daily time frame. All right, let me just change to daily time frames. That's what done. So this is daily time frame, yeah?
Yes, it went to touch where it broke structure and rallied down to the downside. And looking at 4 hours time frame, day for yesterday, we saw a head and shoulder pattern, which is a reversal pattern to the downside.
4 hours. Let's see, this is 4 hours now. Okay, so this is the edge, this is the shoulders here, right? That you are talking about.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so your take now is more of a sell, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Thank you so much. We have 2 cells, right? Thank you. Now, let me just have one more person, then we'll be fine. Just one more person. So who should I give now? Yeah. All right, let's hear from Mr. Johnson. Please, you can unmute yourself, Mr. Johnson. And let's hear
All
from
right,
you.
thank you very much, sir. I'm really grateful. Can we go back to the 1 hour? The 1
okay,
hour.
let's go back to 1 hour
time frame.
So this is 1 hour time
okay,
frame.
just two things. I can see an order block.
Okay, around this zone so that we can.
No, down, up
all
a
the
little
way
bit.
down.
No, up, just a little bit up, just before the bearish move. No, okay, to the left. Yes. I think that's an order block which may act as a resistance. So
okay.
I will go for a sell. And if you look at it closely, it's already selling by that bearish candle on the far. Yes, it's already selling. So I will still go for a sell because of that order block. Thank you, sir.
Okay. You're welcome, sir. All right. So now let me just quickly wrap this up. Now, for people that wants to scalp, for people that wants to do day trading or a swing trade, whether you are into position trade, you ought to leave it for a very long time. Let me just quickly show you something on weekly time frame. Don't mind my charts, but let me open another Euro USD. All right. Let me just open another chart because there are some lines I don't want to base as let's have black and white. Or let's just do the red and green. Right, so now this is 1 hour time frame. Obviously, what price is doing, price is tilting towards more of a sell, which every one of us have been able to point out. But then it might not just fall immediately. Okay. I think Mr. Wisdom was able to point to us that there's tendency for price to come back into this zone. Then from here, it is expected for a sell. Now, the direction of Euro USD to me also is actually a sell. And I do swing trade, I do day trading. So we look at it from different perspectives. All right. Now, the trend of Euro USD, just like I mentioned to us, is a downtrend. And then if we are expecting any form of trade to be picked on Euro USD, we should be looking out for more of a sell. So if I'm going to use a Fibonacci retracement, because that's what I thought yesterday. So if I'm using Fibonacci retracement, if you notice, now for those that doesn't know what Fibonacci retracement is, just I would like you to, attend trainings and, they'll teach you how to use Fibonacci retracement because it is a key factor that you need to learn when it comes to trading. It helps you to know at what point a retracement could last or at what point a wave of price can also get up to, all right? So now, talking about the retracements, now there are 3 key levels when it comes to retracement. We have the 38.2, we have 50, and we have the golden level, which is the 61.8. Now, anything that will make price to come back to 50 or to come back to 61.8. Now, let's trace something. This is, let's say this is 50. Now, merely looking at 50, 50 is serving as a support for price. Also, if you look at 61.8, 61.8 also is serving as what? As a support. Now, it might not directly be accurate, all right? But it is measuring a zone for you. So if we now go back to our D1, now it's becoming clearer to us what price is doing. So on D1 here, it is obvious that, okay, price got as high as this, and there is going to be a fall in the movement of price. And the fall can last up to 61.8 or can last up to 78.5. But then eventually, this guy will sell. It will sell. Now, it might not be now, it might not be immediate, but Euro USD is more of a sell. Just like the way I was sharing GBP USD with us, because GBP USD also, I believe, is tilting towards a sell. Now, drawing our Fibonacci sequence, in as much as I say, see bullish engulfing, but then I don't buy bullish engulfing at resistance zone. It's too close to the resistance zone. So I'm looking for all this buy that you are seeing is just for a day trade. You know, going back to 1 hour, if you notice, if my take profit were to be somewhere around here, it should have closed out. If it comes here, pick another one, my take profit, it will close out. So it's just for a day trading, all right? But people that wants to read their trade for a long time, they won't be looking at buying at all. Rather, they should be looking out for more of a sell. This guy has broken structure here. It went back into the structure. Then it is expected for it to correct itself. All right. So Euro USD is actually more of a sell. But then fundamental can now change our technical direction. Because if the news is bad for dollar, it is expected that Euro USD will find its way up. So just like our participant mentioned, that's Mr. Wisdom, person of Mr. Wisdom now. So if price comes back here or it's entered above here, you don't even need to think twice. Just put your sell trade and you are good to go. So let's quickly even check USD JPY, because there are some things about USD JPY that is very, very interesting. Right? USD JPY, checking the overall trend, it is uptrend. But there are days where this guy will sell. There are days where USJPY will sell. Then checking the weekly time frame, it has been doing more of highs, low. Now, this high is lower than this high. So now we price create another high that will be lower than this. If it will do a high that is lower than that, then it's possible we should see a down movement for USD-JPY. I've usually been telling my clients, I do more of a buy on USD-JPY rather than a sell. More of a buy rather than a sell, right? So because there's some instrument that you don't need to think twice, just pick the trend and leave your trade with a minimal lot size that will not crash your account. And you know, I actually have like 3 different accounts I'm operating on, and most of the accounts you will never see me sell USD-JPY except for the CPI that happened on Tuesday that came out bad for dollar. I sold it, but then I was only able to ride. I think it was just $6 or $9 thereabouts. I don't sell USD-JPY, but if I'm buying USD-JPY, you know, I do nothing less than $20, $35 thereabouts. So now, this is USD-JPY chart. Checking from the daily time frame, because that's where some of us have our point of interest. So now, this is the daily time frame. The same scenario, the same question. But before you answer, let me just quickly show you some things. Now, anytime price falls, because this was a fall, okay, I think this would be best explained here on weekly time frame. So anytime price falls, what normally happens? This was a fall, price finds its way back to the previous resistance, and from there it fell a bit. After falling, it went back up, struggled, and it broke it, created another high. Tried falling, created a high that is higher than this. Just observe. Now, price fell again, and the fall, let's see, how many pips? The fall here, this is 21, this is 2,179.2 pips, 2,179.2 pips. But the first fall, how many pips do we have? 2,460 something pips. So let me just do something here. So I'm going to write the test. So 244. Let me just measure it. Let's see. 244,465 pips. Let's do red. Let's say sell, right? So the way price fell, properties, I need to use it so that it can be obvious. Right? So this is it. Now I can just measure it again so that I can edit it, right? So we're having Okay, 24785. 24785, that's what we are. 24785. Okay. Now, how many? Okay, this is points, so let me just still adjust it a bit. Is pips. Let me do 0.5 pips. So we have 2,478.5 pips. That was the first fall. Now, if the first fall is like that, the second fall, let's measure it. The second fall from the highest point, I won't take this as the second fall because the price came back here and it did not go beyond the previous highest point. So now, but from here, price fell again, and this is where it got to 22510. So 22510. 22510, which means that's a pips. 2,351 pips, right? That's the fall. 2,551 pips. This is what we have here. But notice something here. After falling, it will rally up, come down, rally up, come down, rally up, come down. Ready? This was the second fall. Rally up, come down, just rally up. Now, it didn't really rally up the way the first time rally. Okay. Okay, sir, on USDJPY, is it possible price can cover the gap on the chart before going upside? Because that is the reason I haven't entered the buy yet. Okay, just hold on. We are going to check that. All right, but we are going to check it. Okay, so now let's check this last four. Yeah, the last four. This was 19,397. 19,397. 19,397. 19,397. Every piece. Then okay. So look at everything we have here. Now let me shock you in chart patterns, right? If you look critically at what price has done, going up, coming down, going up, coming down. Now there is tendency that you see this point here, you want to say three bottom, so triple bottom. Okay, because there's double bottom, there's triple bottom, triple top, double top. This is triple bottom. Now, in triple bottom, it is expected that price will bounce back up, definitely. But there is a gap that price has not been able to cover. And the gap is here. Price closed here, and it opened here. So, which means that there is every likelihood that there might be a spike down if price wants to come down. Okay? So there's going to be a spike down for price to cover it. Because yesterday, I was even expecting it to cover it yesterday. So that from anywhere from here, I started buying. But it didn't really cover it. So let's see if it will cover it today. So if it can successfully cover the gap today, then we can start buying USDJPY. Then now, where are we expected to close out our profit? Because when you start buying, you need to have an exit point. An exit point, okay? Because there is no way you have an entry without an exit point. So now, the way is very, very simple, whereby now we have known that if price is coming back here, obviously you would want to buy instead of looking out to sell. Remember, always follow the trend. You are more safer on the buy trade rather than a sell trade. You are more safer on the buy trade rather than a sell trade. Now, the reason why I'm not telling anybody to buy now or sell now is because now there are so many fundamentals coming out by 130 and it can scatter the market. And I don't want you to be looking at your chart as if Barca and Real Madrid are playing football match. Okay? So because trading should give you comfort, trading should give you ease, not tension, fear, and all those things. All right. So now, if price can successfully cover the gap, remember, after covering it, the next place, because there is a pattern of movement for USDJPY. Look at this. Look at the curve down. Look at this. Look at the curve down. Look at this. But the curve down here wasn't really as much as this, right? But look at the curve down here. After curving down, expectation, is up. But this gap here can be, it can make price to still come down. And this place that I put the line, you see that it was like a previous support point for price, which has been there before. But then, now, let me quickly ask this question, because I've showed you what I want to show you. So, what is your expectation for USDJPY? Because we are doing this together, so I need to take your view, and let's check my own view, and let's see if we are seeing the same thing on the chart, right? Mr. Wisdom. All right, so let's hear from Mr. Wisdom. Thank you.
Okay, I would want you to switch time frames for me easily. Let me just analyze from your chart.
Okay.
Switch to.
So which time frame should I give you?
Where are you on currently? Are you on 1 hour now?
I'm on weekly time frame.
Okay, no, weekly, no. Let's do 1 hour. Let's do 1 hour. Okay.
Yeah, this is 1 hour time frame. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So we can see for me every trend is a trap. For me, every trend is a trap, it's a liquidity, so it should be swept any moment. So that's slant from the top coming down. So it's for me, it's a trap. Those are trap. But so price looks very well bearish. Very well bearish.
Okay.
Yeah, but obviously, as you have pointed out, where your red line is, it's a gap. Where usually what happens is the gaps get filled and then fires back to the upside. But today's news, as you said, fundamentals may just reset everything. That's how they manipulate the market, and then we start again on Friday or start again on Monday. So obviously there are spaces down. There are spaces down too. So for me, I would stand off this market. But for me, I will wait for the psychological level, then I will look for a change of character, a pure change of character that shows that price wants to go to. I don't just want to just enter anymore.
Yeah.
So there are spaces down for price to fill, and then the space is up too. So in this point now, I would rather stay off this market. I have the peace of mind.
Thank you so much. Okay, he said you stay off the market to have a peace of mind. But they created all this traps so that we can take advantage of it. All right, so now, just like Mr. Wisdom said, now making reference to all the liquidity that price has created, all the traps there. Now it needs to be taken out by price itself, and that's where the correction comes in, whereby you see so all the market traps will eventually be taken out. Okay, so from the downside, looking at how price has just been swiftly moving up. So all the trap that price has created here. Now, well, we don't know the outcome of the news, so we cannot really give a clear direction of the outcome of the news. So until the news comes out, let it do what it wants to do. Then after that, we can now start looking out for all our entries on the screen and on the chart. So last one, is it Mr. or Mrs. now? Modesta. Odo, you can unmute yourself and let's hear you. And from there, I think we can ride on.
Good morning, sir.
Okay, it's Mrs. Good morning. You are welcome.
Sir. I'm enjoying your class, sir.
Okay, that's good. You're welcome. I'm also enjoying every feedback.
Yes, sir. So I'm a beginner, sir, but I usually start my analysis from the daily time frame.
Okay, let me go to the daily time frame. This is the daily time frame.
I'm on USDJPY.
Yes, we're also on USDJPY.
what I see is that USDJPY has broken out of the trend line, the daily time frame trend line.
Okay, you have a trend line on the daily time frame.
Yes, I had a channel there and it broke out of it. Let me say that was yesterday or day before yesterday. So at a point, it found the resistance and it started to.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you.
Mm-hmm. So at a time, it found the resistance and it started to retrace. So it is still on that retracement.
Okay.
And then the daily time frame is I think now it has reached the other block. But it's just trying to, maybe it's trying to fill that gap that was created. So I'm still looking at it. Once I start seeing a higher high and a higher low on the 15 minutes time frame or maybe 1 hour time frame, I will start taking my buy. But on the other side, if it keeps making a lower low and lower high on the 15 minutes time frame, or maybe in the 1 hour time frame, myself.
Okay,
so that's my analysis.
So if we can start a higher high and a higher low on the 15-minute time frame, then you can start looking out to buy, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, all right. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So just one more person, and we'll wrap up this. All right, thank you, Mrs. Odo. So let's have okay, A1 Wisdom. Let's have you. No. A1 Wisdom, let's have you.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Hello,
Welcome, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, I'm with you.
As the previous Miss said, the trend line, that was last week. I plotted a trend line on the weekly time frame. So it was
on the weekly time frame. Let me see.
Yes, on the weekly time frame.
It is it here. So,
yeah.
So you started from here, right? And
yes,
you did it like this.
Yes, and the base, which is there was a long week on the weekly time frame also, which that was the support zone. So I had to plot it. So I was now waiting for a break, immediately a break, because on 15 minutes it was also like it was ranging a bit at that during the Friday last week. So immediately it broke. I had to wait for a retest. So when I saw the retest, that's what I was asking previously, that what about the gap? So I was waiting for that gap to be filled up, because I believe without that gap, which it broke the trend line on weekly time frame, it will not be able to go up. It will need to cover that gap before it goes up, it rallies up.
Okay. So now it's, let's say right now it's more like indecision for now. So no buy, no sell. Abi?
No, I'm more of the buy, but I'm looking at that.
Okay, you are more of the buy.
Yes, I'm more of the buys. I'm just skeptical about the gap it created. That was yesterday or yesterday.
That one, when price creates a gap, it is expected let there be a fill up, no matter how, in any way.
Because I love,
it might not be now, it can be.
I love reducing my stop loss to be minimal so that I will not have heart attack when it's reading, when the stop loss is like so I like minimizing the stop loss. So that's why I'm still waiting.
Now, let me quickly show us something now before we continue. Now, this is oil. I discovered this yesterday, actually. So this is oil, and then you can see what happened between this zone here. You can see where my cursor is. Now, price goes somewhere around there, and look at where price opens from. A massive gap. Now, this is monthly time frame, which shows that one candle uses 1 month to form. And for over how many years? See, over how many years? 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, 4, 5, until after 6 years, before price was able to cover this gap. Now, somebody will say, wait here happen. Well, that is price. You can see that it took 6 years, 6 good years for price to fill up the gap, take out every trap that price created, and then there was a correction. So now going back to USD/JPY now, in as much as yes, this one is looking like a small gap, right? It's possible from the news price can even start going up. But then just remember this. At the point of the news, for a technical trader like me, I will stay off from the market. All right. I won't pick any trade. I will stay off the market. Now, after all the noise has happened, then I will now start looking for what price has done. Has it taken out some level of traps? Has it taken out some level of trap, either upward or downward? Now, if you take it downward, me, I don't sell USD/JPY, just like I've mentioned. Instead, I do more of a buy. So if you take out the down traps, all the liquidity that is below, if you take it out and price comes back to, let's even say somewhere around here, like this. Now, I will buy USD/JPY because an account of 1.6 million, I will just do 0.05, put 0.05, leave it. Now, if price comes to this point here, that means after it has taken out the gap, right? Coming back here, if you can break above it, I'll put another buy, making it 2 positions. Already, I have a buy stop at the top here. See the buy stop. Telling me that if it can break this point, just be going. Just be going up, going up. All right. So now, yes, JPY, until after the news, before we can take a position. In as much as one thing about USD/JPY that I found out is that even if you buy now, and you just wait, it can be up to 2-3 days before you come back to profit. That's one thing about USD/JPY. Right, your buy is always secure more than a sell, Wow, I really enjoyed today's session because I can see that people are looking out for knowledge. All right, now let's quickly go on gold. Just another instrument that is very dangerous. That is more than dangerous is gold, and gold has been doing something lately. Gold has been on a sell rampage. A sell rampage. It has not been able to, keep up with its buy move, and all this is just because of what Trump did earlier, whereby they put the tariff plan, the tariff war pause, because they paused it. Because what has actually been boosting gold is the change in tariff for every economy available. And then now that they have paused it, people are skeptical. In as much as for gold, I've actually been envisaging a sell from 3,000 price level, but then a price got to 3,000 price level. It did not even look at sell at all. It just broke it. I usually used to do it also on my channel. I was just doing it a steady triangle, descending triangle, blah, 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 blah. With all the descending triangle, gold did not descend. All right, so now this instrument, which is gold, it's just like USD/JPY. Okay, USD/JPY, the overall trend is up. Gold, the overall trend also is up, but there are times where this guy will sell. There are times gold will sell. So now, those times gold will sell, it is expected for us to now wait and look for the next point where gold will get to. Now, one thing about gold is if it breaks, one thing about gold is that if it breaks a resistance, it is expected for gold to it will not sit there, but it can just go and gold can retest the level of resistance. So if it's retesting resistance, so if it's retesting the resistance that it broke, then you're expecting it to go back up. Now, I love using moving average so well to the point that they will help me with an idea of where price will most likely be. Moving average move with price. They are not static, all right? They move with the price. So if moving average moves with the price, definitely, you see this line that I put here, if gold can fall down to this point, I think the two of them should meet at this point here, moving average at the line. And then my best sure bet, yeah, I want to rejoin the trend, right? But I want to rejoin the trend. This is a level of support here. You see this point here? This is a level of support. So somebody say, can't you just buy now? My brother, just like this guy on TikTok, you say, my brother, right? Now, until you see a pattern, please, until you see a pattern, what do I mean by pattern? Candlestick pattern on the moving average before you can think of buying. Because most times, if it's looking like selling, this was a bullish engulfing, this was a Morris star pattern on 50, on 21. You see, please, until you see a pattern before you can decide to buy. If there is no pattern, stay away from the market. That is just an advice. Put together. So that's just an advice. If you want to sell it, can sell it, but then remember, follow the trend. The trend will still correct itself, but follow the trend. All right. So follow the trend. So what are we doing on good now currently? In as much as this was a previous support point that it got to. Okay, 1 hour time frame, what do we have? Bullish engulfing. Now you can decide to just do a short, I don't say a short buy, just do a temporary buy. Your short is the same thing as sell. Do a temporary buy and take profit should be before the moving average. That's my expectation. I tried it here. I tried it here, and eventually the guy eats my take profits, right? I tried it here. I don't trade gold often, just once in a while. It can be twice in a week. In short, sometimes it can be 3 times in a month that I trade gold. I do more of USD JPY, GBP USD, Euro USD, then US 2000 also. So because after gold, I think I'll just go to indices so that we also have an idea and correlation of what is happening on indices. So this is US 2000. Don't mind all these lines you are seeing, they are pending orders lines. So let me open another chart for US 2000 so that we have a clear chart of analysis. Now we are doing this together. Let me just. Good. Now look at US 2000 also. There's a gap. Now, there was one time a gap happened on US 2000. I can't really remember when, but after the gap happened, we were able to ride on the move. All we did was just to put a pending order in between the gap. A pending order in between the gap, regardless of where it gaps from. If you use 0.01 with this move alone, you'll make nothing less than over 60-something thousand in profit. That's in Naira now. 60-something thousand Naira in profit if you can use it. So now, most times you might not be there when the gap will be covered. So sometimes you also want to set trap for the trap that market has set for you. Hello? So you can set trap for the trap that market has set for you. And then if the market falls into your trap, you have been able to win that trade. But if you fall, you will not fall inside the trap of market, okay? But if you fall, you can remove yourself from that trap. All right. So, but then every time there's a gap, look at this gap here. Price covered it, right? Like immediately that day, it covered it. So any point of gap, it is expected that let there be a cover. Let there be a cover. The price must cover the gap. So for US 2000, now what do we think the overall trend is? This guy is also tilting where? Up. It's actually more of an upside. It's more of an upside. And then let's bring it down to all this time frame. Now with Fibonacci retracement, this was a resistance that price started falling from. That's gotten to 50. So price will sell. I'm waiting for price to actually sell, right? So in as much as it is uptrend, but if it sells, let it come back to 23, then let it find its way up, or 38. After it has covered the gap, anywhere it wants to go, that's its problem, right? But then envisage the sell. Let's even look at daily time frame too. On daily time frame, this is looking like a good bearish reversal pattern here. Remember, you have a resistance somewhere around here. Yeah, so you can take it out. Right. So my take on US 2000, put a sell stop at that gap. Now, US 2000 is not for everybody. It's only for people that has above, let's say above 500,000 in their account, because it is not all account that can trade it. If you trigger your trade, maybe you have 50,000 or 100,000. If you trigger your trade and it did not go in your direction, no, it's where. But then if you have above 500, even if it trigger and it didn't go immediately, it is something you can still hold. All right. And don't forget your stop loss. All right. Please, risk management is what will give you profit in this market. If you don't know how to manage your risk, oh man, I'm sorry, you'll just lose money. You will lose money in this market. So try as much as possible to learn a risk management skill. All right, so that you know when to be exiting a trade, you will know when to keep and hold a trade. There are so many times I've closed some loss because I don't trade with stop loss. All I do is I have a percentage of my account that I'm willing to risk per trade. You understand? So if I see that the loss has gotten to that percentage, I take it out immediately. There was one account I was trading, the account of $2,000. The first trade on that account that I did, GBP JPY, I actually did a sell with 0. Was it? No, a buy, but price was selling then with 0.05. And the loss ran up to over $150. But then from $150, it returned back to minus 70 something dollars. That's even where I took it out. I closed it because I've seen some patterns on the chart. But then eventually, after 2 weeks of closing that trade, price came back to my entry. It passed my entry, went beyond my take profits, and it kept going on. All right. So there are times you hold the trade, but because you have a sizable account, a good capital, it will help you to hold some particular trades. All right. So now, with this few points of mine, I've been able to let you understand that Euro USD is tilting to more of a sell. GBP USD will still tilt to more of a sell. USD JPY, we are looking now for a buy. And gold, wait for pattern. You can still use this bullish engulfing to pick your trades. Ensure you set your take profit and your stop loss below the bullish engulfing pattern. Then US 2000 is more of a sell, which means we are looking now to trade the gap, right? Thank you so much for joining the Money Market Review this morning, right? My name is Gabriel once again. So good to have us. Please do trade carefully and tread carefully in this market so that you will not be trapped by the market. Thank you all.